Today we are going to be talking about why Blade Runner's Deckard, played by Harrison Ford, is just terrible. And I mean the worst. So, to begin with, his job as a Blade Runner is to hunt down replicants and then retire them, which is execute them, kill them. But they like to call it retirement. How lovely. Now, Deckard says, to do his job, it takes normally around 20 to 30 questions to work out if someone's a replicant. Now, the way they do this is, it's just a terrible idea, because if the replicants are violent, like the ones in the Blade Runner movie are, you've given them a huge advantage, as they know they're a replicant. If you're asking them these questions, they will attack you and get the upper hand. And they're stronger than normal humans, and, possibly more intelligent. So, giving them the upper hand is not the greatest idea. As a moviegoer, when we see our first replicant, we're on the ball. We know it's replicant because, guess what? They've got no emotions. But then when you watch the entire movie, you realise that for the most part of the movie, no one has any emotions. So, I guess that's where things get difficult to work out. If you've got to live in a world that's emotionless as Blade Runner, it's probably kind of difficult to work out who's replicant and who's not. But that's not what makes Deckard so bad. I mean, so he fights 4 replicants. All 4 of them should have killed him, and could have killed him. The first, this female replicant, dances with a snake, is strangling him in her own dressing room, and then chooses to stop and run away, which gives Deckard the chance to grab his gun, give chase, and retire her. The second is the only replicant to actually try to kill Deckard properly, and just as he's about to, he is then shot by Rachel, another replicant. And the third replicant is strangling Deckard again with her legs this time, her thighs, some thunder thighs they are, and then chooses, whilst Deckard's right next to his gun, to walk away to the kitchen or something to do some backwards somersault flips, which gives Deckard the chance to grab his gun and shoot her. And then Roy Batty, well, he, put the fear of God into Deckard, but then instead of killing Deckard, saves Deckard's life, and then subsequently dies of, old age. So, Deckard, we're told at the very start of the movie, he's meant to be the best Blade Runner out there, a one-man killing machine. Yet, the only reason he managed to kill a single one of these replicants is basically because they let him. If they chose to kill him instead of letting him have the chance to kill them, he would have died on the first replicant. He would never have made it to 2, 3, and 4. And so, he's just terrible at his job on that case, because, he shouldn't have made it past the first one. But then, okay, you can come up with that, it's hard to tell, you can't, if you get it wrong, then you're onto some legal, just murdered some guy stuff, so you can't just attack until you're 100% sure. But then we get down to what Deckard does to Rachel. Now, you can say, they love each other, but there's a scene, it's like 2/3 of the way into the movie. Rachel's in Deckard's apartment, he kisses her, and then she turns him down and tries to leave the apartment, and he blocks the door. He won't let her leave. And then he forces himself upon her. That is rape. You gotta know your rights. Second you say no, if your partner, even if you love them, second you say no, if they push forward, it is rape by law. So Deckard's an asshole. He's just terrible, because okay, maybe she's a replicant, which means she doesn't have that law protecting her, but his actions would still be illegal if he did it to a human. Therefore, he is still an asshole. Deckard is probably the worst protagonist just ever. I mean, okay, maybe you'll be able to tell me if some protagonists are worse than Deckard, but off the top of my head, I really cannot think of any. This guy, terrible at his job, terrible human being, just plain right terrible. Deckard is just terrible. Well, I am Bob Staple. Go make me a sandwich.